Today we are going to replace the starter on a 7M GTE. Same process for the GE. I'm not sure if the starter part number is different. I believe they may be the same thing, but the process should be the same. I'm going to have the luxury of having the intake out, so you'll have a little bit more access to the starter that way. You'll get a good view of the bolts and where they are, what you need to do. If you're doing this with the intake manifold in place, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You're going to have a lot more extensions and socket troubles, but this will show you what's all there and serve as a good guide if you're trying to swap the starter with or without the intake manifold in place. There are only a few steps to removing the starter. It's a real simple process, it's just hard to get to. So this is the starter here. There are 2 wiring connections and 2 mounting bolts. That's it. Real easy, real straightforward. It's just a problem getting to them. Fortunately, since I have the manifold out here, I can get to it real easy. There's a connector on the bottom here, on the front side, and then there's the 12-volt battery connection further towards the back, which you'll need to unbolt. So I'm going to get down on the bottom side, pull those off. I probably could do them from the top, but I can't see very well, so I'm going to get underneath. If you don't have the manifold removed, you're going to have to do it from underneath. Alright, now I've gotten the 2 wires disconnected. That was rather easy. But now I need to get the mounting bolts. So I'm going to use a series of extensions here, because even with the intake manifold removed, it's still a bit tricky to get in there. So there I've got the upper mounting bolt. Now there is a nut on the back side, so you need to grab it with your hand if you can hold it. Or you'll need a wrench. So I think I can get that by hand now. See if I can keep that there and use the socket now. Trying to keep the light on here so you can see what I'm doing. Goes the wrench. There we go. So as you can see, not a real fun job any way you do it. But it's certainly a lot better with the manifold removed. My starter is working perfectly fine, actually. So this is preventative maintenance for me. But I've replaced the starter before with the engine assembled, and I know what a pain it is, so I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, we got 1 bolt and nut out. And now I need the bottom one. Okay, same situation. Let's build up the extensions. There we go. Okay, we have a lot more purchase now. Again, I'm going to use the cheater just so I don't hurt my hand. Okay, we are getting some movement there, but I'm also moving the nut on the back side. So I need to get a wrench on there. There we go. All right. That was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. So hopefully yours is not quite that hard. Okay, the nut is free. Now the starter should come right out. And there you have it. All right, here's the old starter and the new starter. What I noticed on mine, why I chose to replace it, is really just because this guy here, the boot, was in really rough shape, missing altogether actually, as you can see. I wasn't sure about the rest of it. It's got unknown mileage on it. I have no idea how old it is. I know it's at least 3 or 4 years old, as long as I've had this particular engine, and I'd rather not risk it. I've got the intake apart, remanufactured starter from Denso is $100. I figure why not replace it, preventative maintenance. First thing I did to the starter before it goes back into the car, I attached the battery cable here. Easier to do it off the car. And I've got a loose cable that I put in to replace the factory cable a while back, so I've got a little bit more freedom that way. So, cable's attached here. I'll put it in the car and get it bolted up, slide the other connector on, and we're done. Alright, new starter going in. I'm lucky the nut will start to bite enough that I can tighten it without putting a wrench on it. Normally I'd be using a torque wrench for this, but I actually can't get in there with a torque wrench with any of the extensions that I have. So if you can, that's great, and you should do that. But I'm going to have to estimate 29 foot-pounds on my own for this one. It's definitely not something you want coming loose. Straighten out my wrench a little bit. Okay, should be about right for the top bolt. Alright, that bolt grabbed, which is real nice. And now I can just tighten it down from here. Okay. Almost done, but we have to reconnect the wiring. The main battery cable is already connected. That's what's coming out over here. We need to make sure that the starter gets its usual signal. I'm gonna clean off this connector real quick. Beautiful. All right. There we go. Connected, bolted, done. New starter in a 7M GTE.